It's 2021. We are more polarized than ever. Everybody's looking, hey, who can show us what it would mean for us to be one? You could arguably say that you could summarize the gospel in one word, which is reconciliation. An eternal God reconciling the world, us to himself, and us to each other, to be reconciled with him in heaven forever. That would be a way of describing the gospel. So I think if you touched on reconciliation, you touch the very heart of God. If you're talking about not seeing offenses and things that are going against us, but I want to truly engage with you and avoid all the other stuff that Christ died for, all the things he took away, all the barriers he took away, and I want to live that out. And I'm challenged in my own thinking every time that my walls go up because you don't agree with something you say, or you look different than I do, or you act a different way. You know, we saw this in different cultures around the world. It's often actually maybe God's megaphone, as C.S. Lewis says, speaking into my life, some of the toughness of unity and saying, Lord, show me more of the incredible price you paid in coming to me from heaven to earth, overcoming all these barriers so you could be my God and I could be united. So I think unity it's God's heart, and it's a challenge for us to grasp more of that heart daily as we live it out. I remember in Farmington, I came to the city, I met with the mayor of Farmington. This is in 2001. And he says, I'm going to take you on a little drive. And so we left his office, and he takes me right smack downtown, right next to the police department. There's a big hole in the ground. It's the old swimming pool. And most of the small town, Midwest towns have the old swimming pool that the whole town spent the whole summer at. But it's no longer financially feasible. Kids like the water parks with the slides and all the other stuff. And so they had just built this beautiful water park and civic center. What are they going to do with the old swimming pool? Long story short, they're going to build a concrete skate park, state-of-the-art skate park, with skaters coming in and doing all their things. And they're expecting about 1,000 kids a week on this park. But the old bathhouse is still there, 2-story building right adjacent to it. And he said, how about, and I couldn't believe it when he said it, he says, how about you guys renting that building from us as the city of Farmington for $1 a year? And so I went back to my board and was like, what can we do but respond to this? Now, this mayor would have never given us the opportunity, I think, if we would have been a church. You know, it would have been the Presbyterians, or it would have been the Baptists, or the Catholics, or the Lutherans. Because then what would the other churches think? But the fact that we came to him as a united front of churches, we had a board made out of business leaders and community leaders. We had a lot of pastors involved, either on the board or volunteering. We had a network of youth ministers and pastors that we were part of, the Ministerial Alliance. There was a sense of trust that this is actually a community-wide effort by the churches. They're not promoting one specific church. They're not going to hit kids over the head with a Bible or a denominational lure. This is about really loving the city in the name of Christ. And so building was renovated, and every day I would walk down the stairs, literally would bump into skaters many times. They'd be zipping by me doing their tricks. And so it gave us, you know, we had downstairs, we had Bible studies, we brought in some pizza, we shared the gospel. There was a lot of informal discussions. We dealt with the issues that teenagers deal with, and drugs and alcohol and boy-girl relationship. And we kept a tight ship. We enforced the rules, and some kids thought I was an undercover cop. But it was because the churches came together in this city that God opened doors. And I say the same here in St. Louis. I'm like, man, you know, just starting here about what is possible when God's people come together, and part of a national network with leaders all across the United States. And the stories are amazing of what God will do. So, you know, Psalm 133, there the Lord commands his blessing. One day I walked up to the skate park. So now we're in this building. They'd given us the office. We renovated it. So it's early in the morning, and there's 2 or 3 ladies sitting on the steps, and they're praying. Called Moms in Touch. And they had been praying probably for 10, 20 years, way before I ever showed up. And I would have a lot of people often would ask me, how come you've got all these open doors? And we had a club at one of the high schools in the middle of the day, so the school let us do a Christian club in the middle of the day. 400 kids would show up, we'd bring in a ton of pizza. Half of them came for the pizza, I'll confess. But hey, if I'll give you a slice of pizza and I can talk to you about Jesus, for me that's a win. And so students were sharing the gospel. And all these doors that God opened, the mentoring program, the skate park, we did a lot of school assemblies in the schools. But I saw these ladies praying on the steps, and I thought, that's my secret. That's God's secret right there. There's a spiritual battle that is being won. And I may be the one walking it out or seeing some of this happen. The Lord is working it out, obviously, but there's this secret of prayer that these ladies did. And so I think that's significant. This is a battle that's very real, and Satan will try to stop it in any way he can. Everybody's looking, hey, who can show us what it would mean for us to be one? If you love one another, Jesus says, all men will know you're my disciples.